I can't get what we did out of my head.
You know what we did, Barker. You know exactly what we did. So tell me. Say it.
We neutralized a threat.
That's right.
Welcome to NocBro Nation.
Welcome back, guys. Jarrell here.
And I'm Josh. And today we're here to review episode 3 of World Beyond, The Tyger and the Lamb.
Yeah, a lot better episode this time around. The big one in here is Silas's backstory. Hope finally tells Iris the truth. And a little more on CRM. We'll go into a little bit there, but we are going to have a separate video on that. But getting into the overall essence of the episode, a lot better. They finally get their walker kills. Silas is still having a major
Do
problem.
all of them get their... No, not all of them get their walker kills.
No,
Iris and Hope
just
do.
Iris and Hope do, yeah. But Silas's backstory, guys, is very intriguing. Who did he beat up or possibly kill?
He beat the shit out of that person.
He gets a lot of inspiration from his grandparents. The audio tape that he continually listens to, his grandparents are very motivational. They might have a high religious background, whatever, but he likes hearing them talk to him because it's his grandparents are very proud of him. He went to stay with his uncle in Omaha after the incident. He had a very dark response when Iris asked him about his mother, because he said that his mother used to feed him this type of food, and he was like, "No, I don't miss her." And then he said, "Well, I do a little bit."
I thought that he went to stay with his uncle at Campus Colony. That's who Felix had assigned him to.
Did I say that wrong?
Yeah, you said in Omaha.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
He was at Omaha, then
Yeah.
got transferred to Campus Colony
I said that
because
wrong,
of the incident. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Sorry. But yeah, when Iris asked him, like, "Do you miss your mother?" and he said no, and then he came back and said a little bit, but there's no mention of the father. So maybe, not sure if this maybe was his father. He was an abusive father to him and his mother.
Stepfather.
Could be a stepfather. Maybe his father left when he was really young. Who cares? Maybe a boyfriend of the mother. Either way, it's an incident that brought him to Campus Colony, and they haven't really gone into the background as far as is his mother and father, whatever.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably a stepfather that was beating his mother or something like that, and maybe his mother let it happen, and
he said,
that's why he
I'm
has
done.
this animosity towards his mother.
Maybe. Yeah.
But you can see that it scarred him, this incident, because he's afraid of himself.
Yeah.
I mean, and he's so used to people calling him a monster that he's starting maybe to believe that he is that monster that did what he did.
Mm-hmm. Everybody in Campus Colony are looking at him weird. They're talking about him behind his back. He sometimes picks up on and hears it, but I think this will come out later. There's some, like we said, down the road in some other episodes, there's going to be a lot of issues going on with the group. They're going to be doing a lot more backstories, a lot of them dealing with the personal pains that they've been taking along with them their whole lives. So I think more details on him will probably come up.
Yeah.
We did not expect Hope to tell Iris the truth. I didn't think it was going to come out this episode,
but I think it had to, right? Because there's going to get to a point where Iris, where Elton, finds out about this.
Still to come,
and it'll be interesting to see how Iris handles that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both Hope and Iris. But I think telling Iris ahead of that big event that's going to happen is needed, right? Because I think she's always going to back her sister. But even then, it shows now in this scene, which was very emotional, that she backs her sister no matter what.
Yeah, and I loved Iris's reaction when Hope said that the woman shot their mom. Like, when she turned and looked at Hope like, "Oh my God, are you serious?" Like, yeah, she didn't know how her mother died, but to hear that another person killed her, but it's also Hope, I think you mentioned in the reaction, Hope is feeling responsible for the pregnant woman's death along with her mother's death.
Yeah, because she leaned forward.
She ran at him, she scared
causing
the
person. So, I mean, and I said that in the review. I mean, to deal with the weight of not one, but, I mean, the death of your mom, which is obviously takes the top, but then the fact that you killed someone,
right?
That's a heavy weight to bear.
And it was interesting how Hope actually said that in her conversation. She basically said it like she meant to kill this woman. She didn't really say it in a sense where
I don't think she knows.
I picked up the gun and something crashed behind me and I accidentally pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
The way that she told it was, I picked up the gun and I shot her.
Yeah, I don't think she truly knows. I think she's
maybe
blocked out that memory of her twitching and you know, pulling the trigger.
We saw it, so we're assuming it, but maybe she's maybe still conflicted on that
Which,
part.
again, is going to play big when it comes to the big reveal, because she's going to obviously have to admit, I killed her.
Yeah, especially when it comes up with Elton, that's down the road. So one last thing, as far as the Silas goes, Huck seemed very pissed off at Silas. We know that both Felix and Huck did come from Omaha, so maybe Huck was part of that. Maybe she was part of his arrest and detainment during this situation.
Felix and Huck.
That's
Silas and Huck.
Well, sorry, I keep messing up my words. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Silas and Huck came from Omaha.
Felix and Huck. Sorry. Felix and Huck came from Omaha, so maybe Huck...
So did Silas, that's what I meant, sorry.
Yeah, so maybe Huck was part of when this whole incident happened, and that's why she feels pissed off at him still.
She obviously knows.
She knows.
Well, Phoenix. Jeez, man. But Felix knows, and he's not like Huck is. So it kind of makes you wonder...
We assume he knows. We don't know for sure.
He knows. He's the one that's sitting there handing out the assignment to him.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So he's almost like the gatekeeper for Campus Colony and takes Silas in.
Yeah.
But you got to wonder if maybe it was someone Huck knew. And that's why she has that much animosity.
Yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to we'll get more into it, of course, when they reveal it. But it's very interesting as far as why she's so pissed off. And I wonder if that will change as the season goes on. But we'll have to wait and see. The big news, guys, though, and once again, we won't go a deep dive into this because we have another video coming, but the Elizabeth Kublik reveal and the officer who was at the end during the destruction of Campus Colony, he has had second thoughts.
Clearly the best part of the episode.
The majority, yeah, pretty much. One thing you guys didn't pick up on, I didn't pick up on it at first, but when I rewatched it, and a lot of you guys may not care, but the Union flag, the Great Britain flag that is in her office, is actually upside down. So it could be a production error, or when the flag is flown upside down, it is a sign of distress. But I kind of think it was maybe a production error. It happens all the time in real life, but whatever. It's just a thing I picked up on. Nerd stuff, But guys,
that was a crazy scene.
Oh, I like that he felt remorseful about this. At first we were like, "Oh, this dude."
You gotta feel for her, but in the end of the scene, you're feeling for Elizabeth Kublik's character too, because here she is bawling because she basically agrees with him. It's kind of my feeling.
Is it?
Why else would she cry? I mean,
don't know.
She's not going to put on that scene because here's the deal. She's turning up everything, right? She's concealing the fact that in case I'm being recorded, they can't hear me sobbing.
Which is, well, not just that. Like, she turned up the recording to talk to him. So she's telling him everything. They have over 200,000 people in this community. Mm-hmm. Well, we don't know if it's spread across Omaha and Portland or if it's just the CR. She went over what they have. Massive amounts of resources. But why would that be something to hide, to drown out the noise? It's already the Civic Republic. They already know what resources they have. That part's interesting to me. Now, at the end, you could say she brought up the noise so they wouldn't hear her cry. Well, why did she do that in the first
here's
place?
The problem. Here's something we're not thinking about. We're assuming that she's turning on all that and drowning out the noise because she doesn't want CR to hear her saying that. But maybe she's turning all that up so that the campus that they're currently at isn't listening, or Omaha isn't listening on the information that she's giving him. That's more of it, because look, they're so secretive. So why would she risk giving that information to Omaha when they don't want Omaha to know where they're at? They don't want Omaha to know what they're doing. They don't want anything being leaked outside of what they know.
Well, then that would be, her radio is constantly active all the time.
No, I'm talking about any type of spy material from Omaha that might be in the facility that she's staying
so unless
at.
She's thinking there's internal rats.
That's what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
Not internal rats, but other rats from the communities that are listening in. Because look, the communities don't know about what CRM is doing. So what's the first thing you're going to want to do? You're going to want to find out information.
Yeah.
And the best way to do that is if, hey, CR's coming in town.
Plant a bug somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, the facility that they were at is, we're assuming it's one of the bases of the Civic Republic. She did kind of mention to the guy who came in, you're off base. So there's probably another base somewhere else outside. But we kind of got our first glimpse into where this is. I mean, you saw greenhouses on top of buildings. It looked like a very big city. We're still presuming it could be Philadelphia. We don't know. But, and at the end, once again, we got another video go into it. It signals, it zooms in on a map that she was looking at. You saw her teardrop, but then it zooms in on an area which had arrows pointing out of it. Now, everybody's going crazy thinking, could this be a location of Rick Grimes? But we don't know where this is. It could be a location of Rick Grimes, but we don't know.
It almost looks like a war movement map. Like
they're moving forces this way.
Yeah, you're moving forces. It looks like one of those maps that when we were studying World War II in school, where they're moving troops a certain way.
Yeah, we don't know.
It
was an amazing first glimpse though, looking out the window, and I loved how it was not too high and not too low. You can see that there were some skyscrapers there, but you couldn't really tell the buildings because people who, I'm sure a lot of you out there who can easily spot a skyline, I'm sure people would be like, all right, what building is this? Trying to match it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't take that into consideration. So maybe the whole Omaha and other colonies spying thing really doesn't take effect in this situation because they are in a CR-based facility.
But it's still confusing to me.
It is confusing.
Why she turned all that stuff on. I don't get it. Like, do you really think people are listening to you? Like,
I mean, maybe
you're second in command, apparently.
Maybe it's simply her hiding the fact that she has to justify her decisions. That she always wants to appear as strong as possible.
Right. And that's why I don't understand of her crying, is because the speech that she gave this guy was, we are the light of the world. Nothing matters except for what we're doing and us. So yes, I'm sure as a human being, she made this decision to kill 9,000 people, unless it wasn't truly her decision. Maybe it came from the top.
I think it was that general that
the
they
general,
were saying.
maybe, maybe it was the general.
I truly don't think it was her decision. I think she was following orders.
So that's why she was remorseful.
Exactly.
She did it in the sake for CRM, that these could be a threat. But it didn't come from her; it came from higher up.
Yeah,
but this guy's blaming her for still following that order.
Shit rolls down creek, right?
Yeah,
that's the saying. But I mean, she has to follow through with orders, and or she's going to be in the same position he is.
Yeah. Oh my God! But overall, guys, it was a really good episode. The Civic Republic stuff at the end was more of the highlight of the episode, but. We know a lot of you are not impressed by this series. We get that and we understand it. We are still intrigued by this storyline, getting a different perspective on it.
I mean, I'm intrigued by it, but there is something wrong when the end scene that deals with CRM is the most popular scene of the episode.
And I think that I think AMC knew that this was probably going to happen. Mm-hmm. There's even when the show was starting to give more details, there were still a lot of people, and even some of you guys in the comments that said, I don't want to watch the show. I just want to know about CRM stuff for Rick. Yeah. And I'm sure that's why you guys are still either watching it or then just, watching our reactions, checking out other websites, other reviews, just to get those highlights. But for us to do a deep dive, do reviews, I mean, we're going to watch it all. And
absolutely.
There's problems with it, but there's
too many feels.
There's still things to come, I think.
Yeah, too many sensitive moments, right? But I get it.
Right.
That's the storyline, and they have to follow that. But it's just, I don't know. We could have a whole separate video on talking about that.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, guys, let us know what you thought of the episode. Leave the comments below. Give the video a quick like if you enjoyed. Stay tuned for our other video going over the other pieces of the CRM, massive community, and possible human experiments on their soldiers. So stay tuned, guys. Once again, I'm Jarrell.
I'm Josh.
We're NocBro Nation.
We're out.